Hey everyone, welcome back to our kitchen. My name is Emily and this is Lauren. We're two of Festival's Mealtime Mentors. Today we're making a very delicious quick bread.
Yes, so our recipe today is very spring inspired, and our featured flavor is coming from lemons.
Yeah, we're making a lemon poppy seed bread. So it's featuring one of our staples, lemons. We love using lemons as a heart-healthy flavoring, not only in savory dishes, but also in desserts like this.
Yes, it's high in vitamin C. It's great just to keep in your pantry or in your refrigerator, and it also helps to flavor our food without having to add a lot of sugar or salt or things like that. So we're featuring it today in our lemon poppy seed bread. Should we just jump right in?
Let's do it. So we start it by preheating the oven at 350, and we'll just go ahead and get the pan sprayed with nonstick cooking spray. While Lauren's doing that, I'm just going to start with our dry ingredients. So today we're actually using a gluten-free flour. We're using one of my favorites, the Bob's Red Mill 1-to-1 baking flour. You can find it in our natural department, and I love this because you can really substitute it in a lot of regular recipes, just the same amount. That's why it's a 1-to-1 flour, and it's a great substitute if you do need to eat gluten-free.
Yes, and if you don't necessarily need to eat gluten-free or make a gluten-free bread for somebody in your house or somebody coming over, one of my favorites is also Bob's Red Mill, which we love, but the whole wheat pastry flour. So this is a great flour because it's 100% whole grain, but it's also in the texture that works well with baking. So it's perfect. It kind of gives you the best of both worlds.
Absolutely. So then we're going to add our rising agent. So we just have some baking powder and baking soda. Add these in. A little bit of salt, just to kind of counteract the sweetness. And I'm just going to give it a quick whisk before I add the last dry ingredients. So then adding some poppy seeds for our lemon poppy seed. And you can find these in a couple different places in our stores. You can find them in the bulk spice section in our natural department,
Yes.
but you can also find them in little containers in our spice aisle.
And I love the bulk areas just because maybe you're only making this recipe, you're not making any other recipes that call for poppy seeds. You can get the exact amount that you need so you don't have any left over, and then you're not ending up wasting anything, which is awesome.
So then I just added our sugar and then some freshly grated lemon zest. Add some really nice flavor, and it smells amazing.
Yes, that zest does wonders for flavor as far as adding that really lemony flavor in dishes.
So that is all of our dry ingredients.
Perfect. So I'll move on to our wet ingredients. We're using a milk. So this is an almond milk, but you could also use cow's milk. Really, whatever milk you have on hand at home will work just fine.
Yeah, we're using an unsweetened almond milk from our natural department. It's the Wild Harvest brand. And it comes in these little aseptic containers, which means that they're a little bit more shelf stable. So you can buy them on sale and stock up and have a go-to non-dairy milk alternative.
Yes, we love those milks. Those are great. And then adding in 2 eggs. And then adding in our lemon juice. So this recipe called for 1 lemon, so we juiced it, used the zest, which is great then because we didn't really end up wasting any part of the lemon, which is awesome. And then we're adding in some olive oil, which is a little different for a baking recipe.
It's kind of our secret ingredient to this bread, and it adds a really nice moisture to the bread, making it nice and delicious. But it also adds some heart-healthy fats, which we're always looking for in these types of dishes. So one thing with the olive oil, we would recommend using an extra light or an extra virgin olive oil just because it is a little bit lighter in flavor and you won't necessarily get that olive oil flavor that you might get in a regular olive oil.
Yes, and if you didn't want to use olive oil or just don't have it, you can use a canola oil, a vegetable oil. But again, like Emily mentioned, it's a great way to add some heart-healthy fats without having to add something like butter or shortening or something like that, which is typical in baking dishes.
All right, so we're just gonna add the wet to the dry. Really easy recipe.
Yeah, this is a great recipe because it is so simple and so quick and uses so many pantry staples. It's really easy to make on the weekend, for the week ahead, or even to throw together during the week. Really simple.
And even though we're making a bread in this instance, you can also turn this recipe into muffins or mini muffins.
Yes.
The cooking time or baking time might take a little bit less depending on the pans that you make or use. It's delicious regardless.
Yeah, and it's important too when we're making quick breads that we just don't over stir. I think sometimes that is a misconception that you really got to stir it up really, really well, make it super smooth. But we want it just a little bit lumpy. That'll give us the best texture when it comes to these types of quick breads, muffins, things like that. So essentially you just want to get all the dry ingredients wet, just so it's even throughout, but that's really the biggest thing of what you want to do.
All right. I think that is good.
Perfect.
So just pour this into our pan.
Here, I'll get some of this
Thank
out while
you.
you're doing this. And again, great recipe to get the kids involved, family. It's always fun to bake in the kitchen together, isn't it?
It is.
So I'm going to pop this in our oven at 350.
While Lauren's doing that, this bread is a little bit less sweet than a lot of other quick breads, but you can also add some type of frosting or glaze on top. Something that we really like to do is mix a little bit of apple juice with some powdered sugar, and that's a really quick and easy glaze. Otherwise, we also have a really yummy cream cheese frosting that would be delicious on this bread. That you can find that on our blog. Yeah.
Yes. So we're just eating it plain today, but what I wanted to show you with this here is that we use the whole wheat pastry flour in this recipe as well as just regular milk. So just want to show you that it turns out essentially the same as it would with the gluten-free flour and the almond milk. It may look a little bit darker with the whole wheat pastry flour, but really it has the same texture. It comes out slicing perfectly. It's delicious. So I'm going to take a little piece off, take a bite. That olive oil does wonders to this bread.
It makes it so moist. It's so delicious.
Yum, yum, yum.
Well, we hope you give this delicious quick bread a try.
And for more resources and recipes from your mealtime mentors, visit festfoods.com.